Oh, we are officially live. Everybody, Brad here, joined with my buddy Average Joe, or
Ding,
Dusty.
ding, 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 ding.
Dusty Joe.
No Dusty this evening until about 3 minutes in when I forget.
Dusty's gonna come out after we drink some 13% Wheaton Stout, baby. This is version 1, coming on my bottles. Maybe a week away, just about a week away from 2 years old. So yep. Exciting.
Mine isn't quite 2 years. On the 19th of July, it'll be 2 years.
And this is brewed with pecans, wheat, and rye, and 1/4 aged in bourbon barrels.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of pussies. They couldn't put the entire thing in bourbon.
Yeah, let's bear on the whole thing. I'm not going to argue with that, Jill.
Fucking Will Wheaton.
All right. I got one of the cool old stone caps.
Oh, there's newer ones? Oh, where it's just Stone
Brewing. Generic hit on it.
Stone Brewing has quickly established itself as a craft brewery to be reckoned with. The Democrat and Chronicle in Rochester, New York, which is about an hour and a half from here. That's crazy.
That is very crazy. Pretty decent carbonation for 13%. You could easily pour up a glass ahead on this one.
For sure.
The appearance for me is pretty solid black.
Even though I've had my bottle out of the fridge for an hour. In the condensation, baby, because it's warm in here. I did Dusty, see? I told you I wasn't going to do Dusty. It develops into Dusty. I have a problem.
It's one of those voices that's very easy to just slip into your everyday routine. Do you want to just get to the aroma on this, Joe? I mean, it looks like an Imperial Stout.
It's a fucking Imperial Stout. It's opaque black and like a dark brown head. What do you want?
Aroma time. I'm already smelling it, so.
Yeah. Oh.
I got a lot of dark fruit.
Dude, it's crazy sweet in the nose for me.
It has like a syrupy.
It's like molasses. It's like
molasses. That's what it is.
Dark fruit's covered in molasses. Since you went with the dark fruit thing, like plum, raisin, even like black cherry, just like drizzled molasses over top of it. I'm getting a bit of that nuttiness from the pecan. I couldn't tell you it was a pecan, but I would say that it's some. No, but there's a little bit of a nuttiness there. A touch of vanilla. I'm not really getting like a pronounced, say, bourbon or any kind of oak. A quarter of it being blended in from an aged bourbon barrels.
I get a very faint, nutty, and vanilla, but it's pretty much dark fruit and like that molasses type.
Sweetness. A lot of sweetness, like a confectionery, almost like a burnt sugar kind of thing, like caramel toffee notes. Not exactly toffee, more caramel, but just like that, like you know what, brown sugar. I'll go back on brown sugar.
I would agree with the brown sugar. But I was kind of expecting some of that dark roast and maybe coffee or chocolate typical, but it's definitely not.
It's definitely on the. Yeah, it's definitely on the sweeter side of an Imperial Stout. You don't get a lot of the roastiness. It's honestly a little bit too sweet in the nose for me. No alcohol though. I'm not detecting like really anything.
I think that nutty pecan kind of goes good with that sweetness, but it's very faint still.
Yeah.
Let's dig into it.
All right. Cheers, Brad.
Cheers, buddy. Oh.
Holy shit. That is fucking fantastic.
That's thick.
That's
good. It's got a great mouthfeel on it. Wow.
Two things right off the bat. Number one, Paul from PA Brew News. If you were to drink this now and say this is thin in any way whatsoever, you deserve to get nut punched. And number two, I haven't watched a review of this probably in like a year and a half, like kind of when it came out within 6 months after. and a lot of people said how hot it was, or how boozy, how much alcohol. I am getting very little alcohol for me personally. It's masked quite well.
It's real smooth for 13%. Holy.
Wow.
But that is a whole sticky, massive mouthfeel. Coats your mouth. You're left with that sticky sweetness on the lips. And yeah, kind of that heavy dark fruit. A bit of maybe that molasses or brown sugar. And yeah, I don't know.
Listen, I had no expectations. The baby Averagejoe had no expectations. If I had any expectations, I thought this was going to be very underwhelming based on what I remember people saying about it. And it's kind of mind-blowing right now for me. Like, it's 13%, tastes like it's about 8 max. It's, like you said, extremely smooth. The mouthfeel is creamy. I'd imagine the wheat's playing a role in the viscosity and the creamy. It's creamy, viscous. Yeah, I know. Let's make fun of creamy and viscous mouthfeel, right? Hilarious. I'm not picking up on the rye. I don't know if you are at this point.
I get a bit of that warmth now that I've had a few sips, and that also too after kind of letting it into the palate like that, the nuttiness came out more on the aroma.
I'm actually getting it right at the front of it. I just took another sip and right at the front of the mouth. I'm getting that like I couldn't discern between different nuts. Pause. Like I couldn't say, oh, it's pecans or it's walnuts or walnut husks.
Baby.
Walnut husk, baby. It's an almond husk. No, I can't. But like you said, there's definitely nuttiness there.
I think the barrel aging is lost. Maybe at this point, I don't know if it came out stronger 2 years ago, but being quarter barrel aged, I think it's harder to detect. It can be muddled, especially in 13%.
And I think I'd be more upset that it wasn't there if it wasn't fucking awesome. Like if there's enough going on, like you said, those dark fruits are very prominent. I'd say more like plummy raisin type of dark fruits. That molasses is a very, very prominent character in the beer. Like the sweetness isn't so much your caramel, toffee, chocolate, cocoa, typical imperial stout characters. This is more the molasses, like brown sugar, very, very sweet. But I think that nuttiness, probably the alcohol, maybe even a touch of the dark fruits, maybe even, I'm not getting really oak tannins, but I'm getting like a touch of like an oak flavored, ever so slight. That's kind of balancing out the sweetness. While it is sweet, it's not overly sweet, and that could have been an issue.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of that oakiness just on the finish to round things out. But yeah, that 13% is hidden well, and like you said, if it was supposed to be super boozy, it isn't anymore. It was a good call to age it, I think.
There's few and far between in which I can say that I've drank a beer over 12% that drinks as easy as this does without any like detection whatsoever that it is a huge beer. There are only a couple that I can really think of off the top of my head that rival this and just how smooth it is for how big it is. It's fucking crazy, brother.
Yeah, I'm just like going through the glass way too quick here. Going, ooh, this is smooth. It's not. It's a good imperial stout.
I think it reminds me of the I think we're the Lagunitas. What do we do? The old gnarly wine, which was 10%, and it was so the alcohol was so masked that it was like I could just drink this probably like 20 minutes. I'd be fucked up, but I could drink it. That's kind of how this is going. Like I'm gonna feel it soon, but I can't tell.
For me, I wish the barrel and the bourbon came out a little more. Just a little more complexity would be nice, I think.
I think if honestly, yeah. Oh, I just got a little bit of like a berry. That's weird. Like a dark berry, just out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, it's not ridiculously complex or anything, and I'm sure the bourbon would add another layer of complexity. I think if that did pop in here somewhere, and you could pick up on it at this point, this would be this would be up there rating wise for me.
That would be a good thing, baby.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Oh,
Yeah,
just the road with joy.
And it wasn't like I set out to, I'm going to purposely age this. It was more one of those things, right? Put it in the cellar, and before you know it, it's been 2 years. And
well, yeah, when it came out, like I said, we talked a little bit offline. When I picked these up originally, I sent one out to Lee of Hoagley's Beer Review, Lee Russell, and the Albino Rhino, Chad, and they reviewed them relatively quickly, and mine just kind of got lost in shuffle like you. I just I like put it in the cellar, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll get to it, and never got to it until now.
yeah, it's 2 years later. Here we are. That's good. And
it's all he said. It's all you say. It's all right. I think we're gonna have a big discrepancy in score for the first time, really, based on what we're feeling. I will say I'm very it's you don't know how you're gonna if you're gonna luck out, I should say. If you do age a beer and never had it to begin with, if they always say try to buy two and drink one fresh then age one, that's not, you can't always do that. So with this, I think the reason why I kind of just sat on it was I remember those reviews from Lee and Chad and a couple other people on YouTube, and just seeing people saying how boozy it was, and it was good, but probably could be a lot better. So I'm really glad that I did sit on it, because at this point it's probably upper echelon of what the beer could be.
It's a treat. It's probably at its peak, or well, maybe not. I shouldn't say that, because who knows where it might go from here. But it's definitely done well.
I think probably I'm not the king of aging stuff like massive beer reviews, but I would say maybe 6 months ago you would have maybe got some of the bourbon, or maybe 9 months ago maybe you would have been able to pick up on it a little bit more. I wouldn't necessarily say it would be better, but maybe a little bit more complex. But no complaints whatsoever personally.
I wouldn't sacrifice how smooth it is now for a little bourbon and heat, though, because then it'd be quite boozy if you went back in time a year.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's 13%. Like you said, you can feel it warming through the chest, into the stomach, and whatnot. But it's 13%. You're gonna feel that. I mean, that's alcohol. I think when you mask the actual taste of it, though, or on the palate itself, that's where I get excited about that, because it's like there's no astringency. There's nothing there that's kind of deterring the beer from being what it hopefully is, what this beer is now. So yeah, I'm excited, baby. I'm so excited. I'm glad we did this.
For me, for a grade, for 13% Imperial Stout, the smoothness, I'm really enjoying it. I'd go a 90 on it personally. I wish there was a little more complexity in that, but I'm still gonna say it's a fantastic beer, and it's worth a 90 as it's drinking this smooth and delicious right now. Maybe 2 years ago there'd be a discrepancy in that grade. I don't know what you're gonna say. What are you gonna give me, Joe?
Like I said, I think there is gonna be a discrepancy between your grade and mine. Like, we're usually around 2 to 3 points. I'm going 96. That's like right in the upper echelon of A, almost borderline A plus. I mean, the bourbon barrel age I think would add, like I said, a layer of complexity and change it up. But I think in the grand scheme of things, this is a 13% Imperial Stout. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of flavors already, a lot of complexity. It hits me the right way. You get a little. I like my Imperial Stout. I love dark fruits when they come out in Imperial Stouts. I have a tendency to get them a lot in Imperial Porters. I know that we've had that happen. The Evil Twin one we did, the Imperial Porter. Yeah, that was like a dark fruit bomb. I like when porters and stouts have the dark fruit, but I like the fact that the sweetness is more molasses, brown sugar than your typical like caramel, toffee, even into the barrel, like the vanilla and whatnot, and just the smoothness, man. The mouthfeel and the body alone just bump it up like 2 or 3 points for me. Just the simple fact that it drinks like a 13% should in terms of body and mouthfeel, and you don't lose anything there. And I like the fact that you can pick up the pecans, and you do get the wheat enhancing the body and the mouthfeel. It's just I did not think this would be this awesome. Like I thought like you, I would probably, you know, was thinking if I gave it a 90 or if it was around a 90, I'd be very happy with it. But the simple fact that this is blowing my mind right now, I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
You wish you had one more bottle. God damn.
I do wish honestly, I do wish I had another bottle just to see how it maybe age another year. So I know, you know, they have version 2, I think, was last year, and that was, I think, California only, maybe West Coast.
Yeah.
And then they have version 3, dude.
Is it not still called 2.0, or is it now 3.0?
It's 3.0.
Okay.
It is. And that was just released in the last month. You should see it at some point.
Yeah, it'll show up here. It's coming.
It just showed up here last week. What's that?
I think it's coming in August. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it just showed up here last week, and I really didn't think I was going to pick it up, but after drinking this, I'm probably going to have to get one. Just see.
I will if I see it too. Yeah. Will you drink it fresh, or will you age it, or will you buy 2 and drink one fresh?
I'm definitely considering buying 2 at this point, just because it's actually readily available around here. I've seen it 3 different places on the shelf, no limits, or you know, no one going crazy over it. I remember this one when it came here. It went quickly, and it was one of it wasn't crazy expensive. I think paid like $8.99, $9.99 for maybe $10 max. And I think that's what the price is similar now. But it was one of those things where you'd walk into a bottle shop and you know they'd have it over there and be like, "Oh, you want one limit?" That's not how it is this year. It's just on the shelves. Yeah.
I got lucky. I was in Arizona and came across the Woot Stout at Total Wine, and was surprised I still had it because it was a while after it came out. So.
Yeah, Total Wine gets big stocks. But anyway,
let's end the review and wrap it up. Appreciate anyone who's going to watch it, stopping by. Joe, appreciate you doing the review.
Yeah,
pretty cool that we both aged one for 2 years. And
yeah, I appreciate you letting me back on your channel to fuck it up. I will say, if any of your viewers do see the original at any point or whatever, you know, you could find them hanging out. Like you said, you walk in Total Wine, you never know what kind of little shitty bottle shop. Pick it up. It's drinking. For me personally, it is drinking. Just there's no word to describe how well it's drinking right now. It's just amazing to me.
It's drinking good enough to grab one if you see it already. Get on it. Yeah. Anyway, appreciate it, guys. Till the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.